Hey guys, it's Brandon Hyken. Um, we're doing a live event here uh, with 3 tips to guide big decisions. I'm going to wait for a little bit for people to join, and then we'll get started. All right, we can go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining and for listening to this video if you do later. Again, this is a session on how to guide big decisions that you might be considering. So I'll start with my story, and then we can jump into the 3 steps and then do some questions at the end. So some of you may have heard my story already from an earlier video, but those of you who know me well know that I've worked in a lot of different job functions. I started in science and engineering, and then I went into sales and marketing, and then finance and operations, and I really struggled to find my sense of purpose and figure out what I wanted to do. I remember about 20 years ago or so, I told my mom that I really wanted to help people work toward their goals. That would be ideal in a job for me. And I didn't know what that would be exactly until a few years ago. I heard about people in coaching, and I thought, yes, that's what I want to do. So I signed up for a certification program in coaching called IPEC. And then I launched my coaching business, in which I help tech leaders to advance their careers and businesses. So people who might be ideal clients to work with me, they might be feeling stuck in their current role and they can't figure out what to do next, or they know what they want to do next, but they can't figure out how to get there. Together we create clarity, action, and progress. A lot of the people who have worked with me have earned promotions. They've changed career directions. Others have really improved their performance because they're working with a new sense of purpose. I can tell you a story about one of my clients. He was actually a financial executive, also working in some tech companies. And he was trying to figure out what to do next. He was considering a number of different options that he had brainstormed, and he'd been talking with people. Some of them were more about helping other people and more in client service and feeling like he was educating others. And then some of the other roles were more in corporate finance and financial planning and analysis. They're more analytical roles with teams that he would be leading. And he was really struggling with what direction to take. And so we talked about his values. We talked about what he would value most, what values he would be honoring with each of these steps, and which of those values he prioritizes. And I think that really made the decision a lot easier for him. It helped him create some clarity around the decision. So with that, we can jump into the 3 steps. I'll give you guys a little bit of time to think about it, and then obviously you can do a lot more work on this on your own or with me as a coach if you choose to after, if you'd like to have a casual conversation about working with me as a coach. So if you could, please think about a really big decision that you're considering. This could be in your career direction, it could be within your job, thinking about different projects that you want to prioritize, or it could be a big life decision. So think about a really big decision that you're considering. And then if you have a piece of paper or you can just think about it, please jot down a lot of different options that you could take. Just brainstorm on that. And when you have more time later, you can really put a lot more time into that brainstorm. You can also talk with others to help you brainstorm more ideas. So I'll give you a minute right now just to think about that big decision and brainstorm on some different options for you. I'll give you about 1 minute now. Thanks. Okay, so obviously after this live event, you can take more time and think about a lot more options. I would really encourage you to create as many options as possible. A lot of research has actually shown that people and teams who create as many options as they can when they're brainstorming early in the process end up with the best outcomes. And really be creative. Don't judge the ideas. Just try to generate as many as you can. Part of the process in generating lots of creative ideas that might sound wild and outlandish is that sometimes you can find a nugget of wisdom in those ideas that can be incorporated into more reasonable ideas. So I'd really encourage you to create as many options as you can, and again, talk to others to help you brainstorm more. And the second step, I think it's important to think about some of your top options and ask others who have taken those roads. Identify people that have gone down that career path or chosen that, worked on that type of project before in their work or made that life decision, and interview people. What do they think about it? What would they have done differently? What were the advantages and disadvantages of that path? Try and put yourself in their shoes to see, is that a reasonable path for you? So obviously that's something that you'll do later is interview people. Maybe you can talk to 3 people for each option who've gone down that path for each option. The final step is to think about your values. So for each of the options that you're considering, again, I'll give you another minute here, but please think about what values you would be honoring if you chose that path. And what values do you prioritize? So if you can, please, I'll give you another minute here. Please think about what values you would be honoring with each option. All right. So again, you can take more time to do this on your own or working with me as a coach. But, again, looking at those different options, think about what you value most. What are your priorities? I think sometimes doing a values assessment like this can really help make a decision easier and create some clarity around it. Sometimes when we're really struggling with a decision, it's because we have values that may be in conflict. There may be things that you really value with one option and other values that are really important to you in another option, and sometimes you have to choose between those. Or maybe there's a way to be creative and honor both values, but I would encourage you to think about what you value most. Great. With that, again, you can take more time. Please take more time on each of these steps later, especially in talking with other people. With that, if you have any questions, please feel free to enter it in the chat box now, Happy to answer any questions if there are any. Okay. I don't see any questions at the moment. So if you are struggling with a big decision, and you'd like to have a casual conversation with me, to see if there might be a fit, I would love to. I would love to just see if there might be a way for me to help as your coach. Please feel free to send me a message directly on Facebook, or you can go to my website at brandonheiken.com. That's BrandonHeiken.com, and you can send me a message there. Again, thank you all for joining the session today, and if you're watching it later, thank you for that as well. It's been a pleasure, and I hope all of this helped. Best of luck to you all with your big decisions, and have a great day, guys. Take care.